We are now at the end of the symposium, at the end of our time, and in the next 15 minutes, we'll just do a brief wrap up. And so I'm going to share with you a few reflections and a few quotes that have come up. Ervin Laszlo began the entire symposium saying that he is fundamentally hopeful that we are living in a time of great challenge. And Anne Baring was talking about the way in which this is a time when we are being particularly challenged. Even the pandemic and other challenges of climate and so on are asking us to reconnect with ourselves, with each other, with nature, with our ancestors and future generations, and with truly the deep underlying spirit of the cosmos itself. This hopefulness that we are now actually, some people talk about it as waking up, some people talking about it as the great realization, etc. It doesn't matter how we label it, but the understanding that we are fundamentally interconnected and that we co-arise with all of everything is coming out of these new paradigm cosmologies. Another thing that came out of this panel right now, the conversation that we were talking about, and Jude summarized it at the end, picking up on something Federico was saying, which echoed what Anna Luce was saying, which was well expressed in what everyone was talking about, how this intelligent universe that we're in, it's not a sterile universe of cold, uncaring, distant forces. It is actually a cradle of our own being and becoming. And that the universe, or let's take it at the bigger frame, the cosmos, is seeking to know itself. Federico emphasized that, and Jude just said that again at the very end. Ram Dass said, we are all just walking each other home. We're all just walking each other home. And in this process of coming to know itself, we are accompanying each other and truly being accompanied by each other and the universe, and accompanying the universe. Which is accompanying which? This is the paradox, but the answer is we are all accompanying this process and being accompanied by it simultaneously. Anne Baring had mentioned, and I'm just a little quote from her presentation, she said, we participate in a cosmic consciousness that is the source and ground of all consciousness. We participate in this cosmic consciousness. This is what we are infused with and by and informed, as Anna Luce puts it, and as Jude talks about the information process. This is what Federico emphasized as well. So there's a lot of common thematic resonance, let's say, or maybe more than resonance, it's the consonance, because it's truly coming into a recognized conscious resonance of these frameworks. There was a lot of talk recently, and particularly, I'm so glad that we had women leading so much of this event. And there's been the talk about what is being born through us. This is something Anna Luce brought up. Just to remember, I'm here speaking to you from South America, from Argentina, and the term for womb in Spanish is matriz. Matriz is also the matrix of all life. Forget the movies. I'm talking about what Umberto Maturana also talks about as the matrix of life. But it's also the same word, matriz, as the womb of the universe. So when we talk about the matrix of the cosmos, that ground state, the superfluid quantum field, or the zero-point energy field, or the implicate order, the Akashic field, there's so many ways of expressing this. This is also the womb of life. And so just to share with you with this metaphor that I discussed with Anna Luce also many times, that there's a triple birthing going on right now. We are midwifing a new consciousness into being. This is part of the evolution of our species collectively. We are midwifing this collective consciousness, which is based on a connective consciousness, a relational intelligence, where we start to see our interdependence truly. We're midwifing that. So that's one role. But we are also giving birth to a new ways of being. giving birth to this. This is a sacred process, as Anne has talked about, coming through with great mythological and archetypal patternings, emerging now again as we remember our role in this process. We're midwifing, we are giving birth, and we are also that which is being born, a triple birthing. We are that which is being born. We are not saying, oh, it's for some future generation, you guys do it. How do we live into this? Something that Anna Luz asked us in the end of her message and the end of her presentation to think about is, how do we bring this into being in our day-to-day interactions, our day-to-day beingness? Keeping that in mind, this process of being both the midwife, the mother, and that which is being born, there is great hope, coming back again to Irvin's original message. This is a time of hope, not of despair. This is a time of emergence, not emergency. This is a time for us to ground what we know in our hearts and know in different ways, the spiritual connections that Amit Goswami was talking about, in the science that we have that affirms our fundamental interconnectedness. So I'm going to pass it now for some final words and wrap up. And just to remind you of two things before I do that, passing it back to Richard. One is, this is the second symposium of the Laszlo Institute. The first, again, was on the new paradigm in politics. The next one coming in March is going to be on the new paradigm in consciousness. How is that going to be different from what we've just now been discussing? Tune in and find out. But so we'll leave you with that, and I'll pass you now to Richard.
Thank you, Alexander. It's been a wonderful weekend. I'm honored that I've been able to participate in it. The image I'm left with, the vision I'm left with, is that we're all flowing towards the heart of the cosmos with our minds, our hearts, and our consciousness. And we're all moving towards that unity of the original state of the cosmos. I want to thank all the speakers who have inspired us this weekend. Thank you all. I want to thank our musicians, poets, the Laszlo Institute, and you, the audience, who have given us great feedback and participation, and we thank you for that. So I look forward to the next conference. I'll just say, once again, it's been a pleasure to be here, a pleasure working with all the team at the Laszlo Institute, wonderful group of people. I'm happy to be part of it. Nice to meet so many of you, both presenters and members of the audience. So with that, I'll pass it back to you, Alexander.
Thank you, Richard.
And who's going to give us, I'll just say, I'm going to give us a surprise that he is going to accompany us out of this auditorium musically.
Exactly. So Victoria, who was just saying here that hope to hear my music next time, don't leave yet, because that's exactly what I will do. So now, please feel free to stick around, feel free to leave as the moment calls you. I'm just going to accompany the ending of this symposium with a little bit of music and leave whenever you like. This is just accompanying, let's say, the final credits of the engagement. This is my walking stick flute. So this is the flute that I go on my walks with. It has a turquoise scarab here, which is actually from Irvin's mother, a part of some jewelry she had, which she then bequeathed to me, and I have ensconced it here. And so now let me continue with my flute music for you. Ashe. Thank you so much, everyone. Be well and stay connected. Goodbye from the Laszlo Institute. Thank you again so much.